Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nash, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? I have come here on your platform because I want any kind of help. So this is what happened. I do have a secret that is always troubling me, and at my home there are different traditional healers. I started with your healers from your Malawi, saying that those were the most honest one. I have met some that claimed to be very powerful, but all of them, they could not even chase away the spirit of this man that I got killed simply because we used to be business partners. We started out by being simple lovers, and then through me, he said he wanted to register a company, and from there on, when I saw that the company was now big, that was when I killed him for money. I know the truth. I killed him for money. I killed the person who trusted me, the man that I once loved, I thought, with all of my heart. I moved from your Malawian traditional healers and I moved on to these healers that are from Zim, your prophets, whatever. I did everything until I said, let me try these Nigerians. I tried the Nigerian healers, but still it did not even work out at all. So this is how my story started. It was a simple thing when I met this guy. He was working in the construction industry and I was not working. He was like, why are you not taking advantage of the opportunities that can be found in your country? This guy was from Zim, by the way. He came and he started staying at my auntie's home. So I would go there sometimes when my auntie was not available to go and collect rent. So this is how I became friends with him at first. Whenever I would go to collect rent at the place where he was staying, he would give me some money, just say, you can go and use this money. Not a lot. Sometimes it could be 100 rand, but during those days I was like not working. My kids were suffering. So I was always appreciating him until me and him, we then started dating each other. When we started dating, that was when he said, why don't you take care of all of these opportunities that you can get as a South African? And I said, opportunities like what? For most of our youth, they are just jobless. The government cannot create anything for us. He was like, how about you create a job? I said, create a job? What kind of a job can I create? I'm so jobless that I am looking for a job. And he was like, you know, me and you, we can have a good partnership. And when we have a good partnership, maybe God will bless you. God will bless me through you and we can live a happy life. And I said, what are you trying to say? It was like, sometimes when we are working, you know, I do these piece jobs. Take for an example, let's say your auntie, she wants to extend her house and then she wants to build more bedrooms. I can do that and she can pay me deposit. How about if I get such a job and then you assist me and then we use that money instead of me looking for other people that can come and help me? You and I, we can work together and then we save this money and then we can start a small business. I said it is fine. I could not even do it even for a single day, lifting up those cement bricks. All that I wanted was the money that he had gotten for the deposit. He took that money, me and him, we then went and we bought some fruit and veggies that we started selling. It was not even making money at all. And we would buy the stock from the markets, reselling it in the location. Even though he was not making any profit. One day, he took me to an internet cafe after we had spoken about it. He said that I have the connections and I know that with the small connections that I can have, one day, babe, things are going to be okay. What he wanted at that time was that since he did not have proper papers, he could not get a South African ID in which I had, and without the right paperwork, definitely he said you are nothing. And that is where I came in. My name, my signature, my South African citizenship, that was going to be my only contribution in this business. We registered the business in both our names, but everyone knew that he was doing the real work. He was handling everything, and the business started rising up. And as for me, all that I had to do was to sign the papers and I was getting a small cut. It was going really slow. For years, the business was not making any money. We would even struggle to make 2,000 rands profit a month. So for me, it was not worth fighting over. I then started dating another guy who was a Nigerian guy, I think, who confused me. So I forgot about this guy and the business until one day when everything happened. So I heard that this guy, he had been submitting your tenders. So what was needed was for me to go, and I had to do a presentation as the director who had the signing authority. And as for him, he was unable to do that. So when he told me that we should have this done, and luck had finally found us, he was willing to forgive me even though I was dating that guy from Nigeria. So this guy and we then went and we managed to secure a government tender to supply food to the schools. This deal was worth around about 5.3 million. So just like that, we went from selling, or he went from selling tomatoes and onions on the street to becoming like an official supplier. I should have been happy. We celebrated. I forgot about the Nigerian guy and I told him. So this guy, he said, how about you just kick this guy out of your company and enjoy the money even though we are no longer together? The money was real. I could not believe it until I saw that the business account that we had finally opened, there was money that had been deposited. There was one problem. This guy from Zim, he was legally the guy who had most percentage in this company, because at that time when we created the company, I did not even know that it was going to earn so much money. So he owned 70% and I only owned 30%, and I wanted more. He would be taking the biggest share. My name was on the documents, but he was the one who was behind everything. If I wanted money, I had to ask money from him. I wanted to buy a car. He then said, no, you can use the company vehicles that we have bought. Like, hell no, I have to get my own car. We just won a tender. So I needed to get rid of him. And that was when I went to a traditional healer from the village from where I come from. So when I went to the village where I come from, that was when I spoke with one of the traditional healer who asked me, and he said, are you sure? Because once we do this, you won't be able to start anything that we will be doing. I said, it is fine. This guy, he said, was going to fall sick first. He will suffer. And when he is gone, then we had to go to the ocean to throw away some of the soil that had been gathered at the place where he used to stay. I thought that it was going to be easy, in which it proved to be very challenging. Whenever I would go there to take some soil from that place where he was staying, by the time that he passed away, I would always see his ghost. So I then heard that one night he woke up, he was struggling to breathe. I went to the hospital. I was excited. He was fighting for his life, but I saw that this guy, he was going to die anytime soon. So after the funeral was over, I withheld the money in the company, and I did not want to share the information with them. All that they knew was that he used to date a South African woman and he was working for that woman. I then told them that the only thing that I could give to them was the pension that I was going to offer to him, and it was out of my kindness. The money that I gave to them was the money that they used to repatriate his body to their country. A week later, I changed the business documents for this was natural death, and no one even asked for an autopsy. I now owned 90%. As for the remaining 10%, I gave 5% to my son, the rest to my mother and my brother, so that they can protect me. I was happy at that time. The business is running very well. But now the problem that I am facing is that I was unable to fulfill that ritual where I had to go and collect soil from the place where you were staying. Like I told you, I once drove there alone to that location where you were staying. It was around 9 p.m. at night. And when I got off from the vehicle, I saw him. He was standing at the gate of the place where he was staying, in which I was supposed to collect this soil from the gate. I then returned back to the car, and I told myself that I will return back again. I did not know that the healer had only given me 31 days to bring the soil to him so that we can go to the ocean, where we were supposed to dump the soil in the ocean, which was going to make his spirit, his ghost, to follow us to the ocean, and we were going to leave him lost in the ocean. 31 days passed And at that time, do not blame me. I always had money in my account, something that I had never had in my entire life. So I forgot about the rituals that I was supposed to perform. By the time that I discovered that this was what was happening to me, the healer then said, it is already too late, for nothing can be done anymore. I tried to visit different traditional healers, prophets. I don't know how many prophets I have brought into my home. Some of them even ended up wanting to take advantage of me, wanting to sleep with me, but I just remained strong. This is my confession. Currently, I am looking for any kind of a charm that can chase away the spirits of the dead. As for now, each and every night, there are some herbs that I was given by a Chinese guy that I do use at night. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin who helped us with this translation. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world.